I am self-motivated. My mindset is my most valuable asset. I seek knowledge on success and I apply it in my life. I can overcome all obstacles. I have the power to create the success I desire. I attract money with value I provide to the world. I see the opportunity in every situation. I am self-reliant, creative, and persistent in whatever I do. I have great ideas. I am always learning and growing.
What's going on? My man,
I'm not having
guy,
any sound on my side for some reason. Let me see here for a second.
Not a problem.
I think it's my side.
We are live right here on the Tipping Point Morning Show, folks. And it is another Saturday. Sorry for the lateness. We had some
I'm gonna go back in and come back.
Difficulties here. And it is all good. But I thought we would start with a little bit of this success video here. Good stuff. Because we're talking about what is behind the meaning of the phrase "I am." Okay, so we're talking about that great phrase. You can pull that from biblical. You can pull it from pretty much every genre of even religion, and you will hear that. So we're going to talk about that later. Just the same. Can you hear me okay, Brother John?
I hear you fine now, brother. I have a mic problem. We're going to fix that during the week, but we'll get it.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, brother. Well, we ready to rock?
Let's roll.
All right. Let's go.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.
All right. Man, it's another Saturday. It's August the 13th, 2022. I want to let everyone know that this is the only August 13th, 2022 that you will ever get. Unless you can sidestep to different dimensions, then guess what? This is the only August 13th, 2022 that you'll ever get, and you should make it a great one. So remember that, folks. This is your only chance. All right, so get out there and move like it's your only chance. What's going on, family?
Nothing much, man. It's been a busy week on my end, of course, recognizing that the sales are picking up, which is when I'm saying it. I mean, the retail sales are starting to pick up. They talked about jobs are up. So in my products, because I have what is called a disposable income product / disposable income, when I can tell money going up on that end, then the other ends are going up, things that are more needed, like food, water, and shelter, right? So when I notice the feel of uprising, then I know that trickles down, because I'm at the area where when you buy a product, it's because it want to make you feel good, okay? So that's the disposable. But other than that, I discovered that I had strep throat. Got it from my grandbaby. And let me tell you, you could have fever, you could have stomach ache, you can have nausea and not know that what you have is strep throat. So if you have a little itch in your throat and you have another of those feelings, night sweats, you may want to go get that checked. And listen, if you go get that, go and let them give you some antibiotics. Don't go around playing with thinking you can do it with elderberry or some shit that's herbal stuff, because you know why? You'll continue to pass it. And now kids are at school, they touching stuff, and they'll bring it home, right? So you want to make sure you kill that. But here's the thing. After 3 days of taking your antibiotics, you want to change your toothbrush, number one, right? right? Because you don't want to continue to get it back. And you also want to take probiotics, because what does antibiotics do? It kills all your bacteria, even the good ones. So you want to take some probiotics. And don't get the probiotics on the shelf, the dry probiotics. Go get the probiotics that's in the refrigerator, the live probiotics, and take
Like,
one a night,
yogurt.
right? And replenish your gut.
And yogurt would be a good
What
quality
wouldn't
yogurt,
mess with
right?
yoga if it no wouldn't mess with yoga if it's got milk in it or sugar.
Got
You
you.
just want to get just straight probiotics that's a live stream.
Got you. Good stuff. Man, I tell you what, I want to jump in real quick before we jump into everything else. This past Wednesday, we were talking about feminine versus masculine energy on the NPAD show, No Panties After Dark relationship show. And, it was some good stuff. And I missed being able to have you on there to talk about what a woman should look for when she's looking for a man or a good mate or what have you. You've spoken about that before, and I think it's some really good stuff. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, there are some things missing when it comes to the search for what the women call the right man. And it first have to do internal, right? So there's a lot of signals that women would send. I give you an example. So a woman says, I want a good man. But what is the signal? What is the signal behind the consciousness? So if a woman thinks she is sexy, so she thinks she's sexy, so she dresses to be sexy, show her cleavage a little tight, everything's tight and really like busting, right? You're not attracting a good man. What you're attracting is sex. Right? Because that's a vibration you're sending out. And so a lot of times women don't pay attention to what they're attracting, and you're wondering why you continue to attract the same man that all he wants to do is lay down with you, because there's a vibration out there. And you got men, we are hunters, right? So we're either hunting for food, sex, or shelter, just that simple. And so since we are hunters, we'll do what it takes to get the end goal. And so you got to watch that. So here's some questions I think you want to know. Sex shouldn't be on the table, first of all, in the discussion with meeting someone. Shouldn't be nowhere near the discussion, somewhere way down the road, and definitely pay attention to certain signs. So if you got a man, or if you're interested in him, see what his goals are. Talk about what his future is going to be. Get an intellectual conversation about him and see what that guy is want to do in the future. In fact, ask him, what is his ideal on how to treat a woman? You want to know, right? And where did he get that ideal from? Did he get it from a book? Did he get it from a movie? Or did he get it from home watching his parents, like his dad, right? Treat his mother. If he had if he come from a violent family, mama always getting beat up by daddy, you may want to raise that as a red flag, but that don't mean all the time. But you want to know those subjects. Does he have children? Is he involved with those children? Does he talk about his kids to you? Or all that conversation is off the table? So those are kind of things. And I wouldn't go read no book called Think Like a Woman, Think Like a Man and Act Like a Woman. That's ridiculous. No man wants a woman thinking like him. He wants a woman think opposite of him. Okay, so pay attention to that. But there are certain things. Sex shouldn't be nowhere on the table. But if that's what you're vibrating, and then maybe in 60 or 90 days, you get ready to have sex, right? And so it shouldn't be nowhere on the table. And I will give you this. And here's what I will give you. And I love this story of particular. And you heard me mention this before, Joe, about this species of birds that follow the female bird around. And so because why they want to mate with her. And so she goes to a certain tree, all the male birds follow, right? And so when she leaves, all the male birds start going get twigs and stuff, and they start building nests. She comes back. She goes and look for the biggest nest, the nest that is the strongest and has a lot of room and pretty. When she goes inside that nest, that bird saying, she wants to mate with me. Because what is she saying? This is a bird mind. You know how small a bird mind is? The bird is saying, build me a house first. That's what he's saying. She's saying, build me a house before I mate with you. So why can't you have that attitude? Why can't women have that demeanor, right? To where you are saying, build me something. Make him put a ring on your finger. Make him go spend some money. There's a tribe or in Africa. I remember meeting a sister who said that her father owned a peanut farm. And a man wanted to marry his daughter. He told him to go out into the peanut field and pick enough peanuts to feed the whole family. What is he saying? He said, are you willing to work? Are you willing to put in the effort? Because if a man buys you a house, he can't walk away from you so fast, right? So it's a big difference. And the question is whether you deserve a house. But if he builds you that and he put that work in for you, that identifies. So sex shouldn't be on the table. You should make him prove some things before he get the cookie. So hold the cookie back for a while. I don't care if it's 2 years. Hold it back. Make him show you. If he wants you, let other men compete. What's wrong with that, right? So, understand that that's why women get wrong. That's where women get things wrong. And I asked the question about, for the women, where did you learn about men? Who'd you learn it from? Did you read it from a book? Did you watch it in a movie? Or did you learn it from your dad, your uncle? Because these are the areas where you can identify whether a woman knows what a man is, not how big his thing is, not how big his feet is, or not how much money he makes. That has nothing to do with it. You want a genuine man. So you want to look for stuff like that. And here's a great question you can ask a man when he meets you. And if he's interested in dating you, say, I would like for you to meet my father. Red flag. Because if he says no or not interested, that means he had no good intentions for you. You ain't got a father, you got a big brother, you got an uncle, and just throw it out there, man. I'd like for you to meet my dad before we even go out. I got a dad. Yeah, you want to meet him? Hey, meet my dad. And that right there, you will be able to see the look on his face. And lastly, when a man has children and he has kids, and you women, you got kids, you want somebody to come into your life that's going to add to your family, not just you. The same with me as raising a daughter. I chose women that's going to add to my family. And I met a lot of selfish ass women because women don't mind you having kids. But wait a minute, your child lives with you? Oh, that's a big deal, right? So I done had a lot of women turn me down, said, yeah, he's fine. He's got his own business. He's got that. But wait. Oh, his child lives with him. See, so that's selfish. And so, that was easily kick him to the curb. So you want to understand that because this is a family thing. You want to know if that individual wants to be involved with you, with your family, and take part in the family. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I think you, Joe, you are a family man. So you seek that family behavior. But where did it come from? It came from because you came from that behavior, and that's what you see. So understand that some women that you may think you want a good man, it may easily say, but what is your subconscious vibrating? And that piece right there is what you need to work on.
Absolutely, man. It is amazing having that conversation, and a lot of people just don't realize, like you said, what they're actually vibrating. Because I think a lot of people out here today, they like the ideal of a relationship. They like the ideal of quote unquote family, marriage, this, that, and the other. But everything that they're putting out says otherwise.
But let me add this piece right here. And this is the toxic mindset. So let's say a woman says, and you heard this saying before, a woman saying that she is a narcissist slayer, right? What is she saying? She's carrying toxic energy. If you're looking for what you had in your last man, that means you still toxic, and that toxicity will spill into the next relationship, and that's why you're single, because you're narrow-minded, looking for that toxicity instead of first healing. If you're looking for toxicity, you have not healed first. And I bet all women to heal before you get into another relationship, because you're going to bring that toxicity into that relationship, and then you're going to see every trait that you saw in the previous relationship in him again.
Absolutely. Yep. And that goes for both parties. Men
Correct.
need to learn some healing too.
Yes.
I think men are bad about jumping. Yeah, well, you know what? I guess on both sides, we're both bad about jumping into relationships quickly thereafter. But healing does need to happen, does need to be done. Especially when you know that you're in a toxic relationship. Well, good stuff there. Good information. Absolutely gonna hit the replay on my Wednesday night show with this one right here. So appreciate that. And I tell you what, we're going to be bringing up Leonard Walker here with the Stock Spotlight, but we also want to bring up a guest co-host with us. We've got Mr. Joseph N. Tapper Sr. that we're bringing to the stage as a guest co-host here with us today as we have this conversation. Hey, Pops, how you doing there, family?
I'm doing good. Awesome. How you doing?
Good stuff. Good.
Again.
Yes, sir. Good to be seen.
Absolutely. That's a saying one of my partners here in town, Phil. That's what he says. Hey, good to see you. He says, it's good to be seen. It's, good
Instead
stuff
of viewed.
there. Absolutely. You don't want to be viewed. That's a different connotation there. So we're getting ready to bring up Leonard Walker here with the Stock Spotlight. And soon, I believe, Heather Weatherspoon here with the financing in 5 minutes here shortly. And first up, Brother Leonard, how you doing there?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely. I'm just trying to wonder, is there ever a time that you don't look so cool?
Hey, when you look cool, you feel cool, and you are cool. So
absolutely. There you go, man. What you got for us this week on the Stock Spotlight?
So this week, last week I said I was going to talk about some Vice stocks and some, and I'm going to add some retail stocks in there. What are Vice stocks? Vice stocks are stocks that you can buy that have products such as alcohol, cigarettes, things that we typically have vices about, right? Or typically things that are considered vices in our lives, right? Why would we buy these types of stocks? Well, like I said, is right now the market is starting to kind of creep a little bit, but it dips back and creeps a little bit. You know, the certain industries are doing a little bit better. The tech industry is still kind of getting hammered a little bit with layoffs and different things. So you're hearing different types of reports on different areas and indexes, but Vice stocks tend to be recession and bear market resistant because during bad times, all right, well, some of the first things that people reach for is man, I gotta have a smoke, or man, I gotta have a drink. You know, so these stocks are typically a little bit more resistant to stock current conditions, you know. So the first one we're gonna start out with is now this stock, if you got, you know, let's say you got your dollars up, all right, you say, you know what, I'm gonna go a little bit above $50 per stock. I'm gonna try to buy something, you know, because I got my dollars up. I want to put my money into something that's gonna make me a little bit of money. And again, all of the stocks I talk about are dividend stocks, right? So the first stock we're going to talk about is a stock called Diageo. Okay, Diageo, spelled Diageo, ticker symbol Delta Echo Oscar, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so if you trying to buy some Apple or some Amazon or something, you know, less than $200, but over $150 or so, or somewhere around in that range. This one is a stock that goes for $188.96 a share. It has a man, can't talk this morning. It has a share. It has a dividend of $3.81 per share. It pays semi-annually, so every 6 months. But it's kind of funny how this stock kind of pays, because it'll pay anywhere from $150 per share to $280 per share plus. You know, so it may go, you know, so it seems like it kind of alternates in its share pricing, right? So that's not too bad. It has a dividend yield of 2.2% or 2.02%. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh man, that's a low yield." Well, here's the thing: is it's still outperforming the S&P 500. That's because the S&P 500 is about 1.8 right now percent. So anything that's outperforming the S&P 500 is worth taking a look at. And like I said, this is a recession resistant stock. 52-week high was $223, and the 52-week low was $166. So Right now, it's kind of priced mid-range a little bit. Okay. So what is this? What is this company we're talking about? Diageo. Diageo would be considered, it's an alcoholic beverage company, but it behaves like an ETF because a lot of the liquors and beer that we have drank, I guarantee you, these liquors and beers we know about. For instance, Johnny Walker, Crown Royal, JB, James Buchanan, Smirnoff, Ciroc, Kettle One, Captain Morgan, Bailey's, Juan Julio, Tanqueray, just to name some. Okay, everybody, even if you ain't, heavy drinker, you probably had some drinks with some of this, liquor in it. So if you're gonna drink the liquor, hey, buy some of the
You might as
stock.
well invest in the stock.
Right, buy some of the stock. See, so this company this company is sold. It's a global company. Basically out of the UK, but it's globally. But it's a global company, and you can find different. They sell different products in about 180 different countries. I'm sorry, 180 different countries. North America, Asia Pacific, and Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean. Okay. It was founded in 1886. So DEO, Delagio, just in case you got a little bit of money, you want to throw something in, looking at Apple or something, somewhere a little under $200, maybe you might want to consider this because, like I said, it's when times are hard, people reach for the bottle. When times get better, people reach for the bottle. So, that's just
People
something to
are always
think.
reaching for the bottle. You might as well make some money off of it. It's
Yeah.
a vice stock. Hey, even in the pandemic, right? The bars, the liquor stores, they were still open. So,
Still open. Still, a matter of fact, when some of the bars were closed, people were like, "This is what kind of caused a little bit of pandemic stress."
there
As a
you
lot
go.
of people was like, "Hey, but the liquor store was still open." So,
And the weed man picked up.
and the weed man picked up. There you go. All righty. So the next stock we talked about, I talked about this stock before, and I'm gonna revisit it because it's trending for a little bit less. If you didn't buy it before, here's your chance to look at it again. It's called Altria, 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 ticker symbol Mike Oscar, MO, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Right now, it's going for $45.15. It pays a yearly dividend of $3.60. Wow, per share. All right, which is $90. Oh, no, sorry, 90 cents per quarter per share. Okay, for a $45 stock, that's not too bad. It's got a dividend yield of 7.97%, almost 8% dividend yield. So again, there's another stock that's outperforming the S&P 500. 52-week high was $57 and the 52-week low was $40. All right. This is a tobacco company. I think they deal with they deal with vape, more vaping products. Plus, they deal with other tobacco products as well. They are some of their subsidiaries are Philip Morris and different different tobacco companies. They are 60% institutionally owned. Okay, remember we said that we want to look at companies that are institutionally owned because that forces these companies to be more accountable and more ethical in their practices. All right, and this company was founded in 2009. That is Altria. All right, the next tobacco stock we're going to be talking about is British American Tobacco. British American Tobacco, and that stock's ticker symbol is Bravo Tango India, BTI, Bravo Tango India. Traded on the New York Stock Exchange. It's going for $40.42 per share, $3.61 per share dividend yearly, and it pays a quarterly dividend of 74 cents. It's got an 8.94% yield, so that's almost 9% yield. Okay. We're looking at a 52-week high of $47 and a 52-week low of $39. So it's trading pretty close to its 52-week high. Grant, hey brother, how we doing now? trading close to its 52-week high, but it's still in that kind of mid-range area. This is again a tobacco company. It's out of the UK, and they deal with tobacco products. They even deal with other oral tobacco products like dips and snuffs and different things like that. So again, these are stocks that you can invest in, pay you a good dividend on them. People are gonna use them. Some of the people listening probably use them, right? So if you're gonna use them, or people use them, you might as well make a little bit of money off of it, right? So, all
Awesome.
right. Yep. So now I'm gonna go into a few retail stocks here. I got 3 retail stocks. Why am I talking about retail stocks? Well, John Yah said as his demand goes up, he's noticing the other demand of other things are going up as well. So that's a good indicator. That's a good indicator that things may have turned a corner. It's kind of funny though, but still, 26,000 or 22,000 people in the retail industry just got hired. So let's talk about some retail stocks right quick. First one we're going to talk about is a company that many of you probably know of and have shopped in and know about. Guess what? You can buy some stocks in this company and it can pay you a dividend. That company is Big Lots. That's right, Big Lots ticker symbol BIG, BIG. Did you get that, John? BIG, Big Lots. Okay. Trading on the New York Stock Exchange. This is going for $23.68 a share. Okay, not too bad. Again, under $50. Matter of fact, half of $50. It is its yearly dividend pays a $1.20 yearly dividend, and it pays 30 cents quarterly. Okay. Its dividend yield is 5.7%. Again, you're looking at, it's not paying a whole lot in dividends per year, but its yield is up and it's outperforming the S&P 500 for a $23 stock. That's not too bad. Okay. The 52-week high is $60.24. 52-week low is $18.16. So it's already at the low end and has potential to grow. All right. It's got growth potential. This stock, again, is BBPS, all right, book value is $33.93. Buying this stock right now, you'll be buying it at a discount. Once again, that's what we talked about before, is how to look for undervalued stocks. This is stuff called icons, and some of the stock greats learn how to do, right? Some of the great investors learn how to look for stocks that they feel, are going to gain and buy them at a discount. So again, this is at, over a $10 discount if you buy this stock, which will add up in the long run. We know the store Big Lots.
Absolutely.
There you go. Oh, yeah, Casamigos as well. That's what Heather was just saying. But we know the store Big Lots. But just for those that don't know about Big Lots is kind of a mini Walmart. Okay, that's the best way to describe them, because they sell food, they sell beauty products, they sell furniture, they sell
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, just like a small Walmart. Okay, so that's, they were founded in 2001. Okay, Big Lots. Next, the next one we're gonna talk about. Okay. Next retail stock we're going to talk about is Kohl's. Oh, wait a minute. Kohl's? Yeah, Kohl's. The kind of a bougie type store. Yeah. So Kohl's Corporation, their ticker symbol is Kilo Sam or KSS. All right. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Kohl's is going for $33.18 per share. That's pretty doggone good, for Kohl's, that store. Their yearly dividend, they pay a $2 yearly dividend per share, and they pay 50 cents quarterly. They have a dividend yield of a little bit over 6%. The 52-week high is $64.38. The 52-week low is $26. This is also another stock that you can buy right now for a discount. The book value right now, book value per share is going for $34.81. So you buy some of this, you're buying it at a discount. Being at that 52-week high is $64. That means you buying it. It's got a lot of room to grow. Okay, the dividend could actually grow, plus the quarterly dividend to grow as well. The best way to describe Kohl's, many of us already know about Kohl's. Best way to describe Kohl's is this era's J.C. Penney. Okay, it's this era's J.C. Penney. They sell brands by lots of famous people. Some high-end brands. Not too expensive. They kind of mid-range somewhere. But unlike J.C. Penney's, they took advantage of the online platform, online shopping platform, which most retail companies, if you don't have an online shopping platform, you pretty much are gonna go the way of Toys R Us and be done, right? So yeah, so there you go. They were founded in
I tell you what, man, you are giving some serious information, dropping some serious knowledge, and I tell you what, I don't want to give it all up so soon. I think we should hold some of it till next week's show, man, because you just dropping some serious knowledge with these stocks, and we absolutely appreciate you, folks. This is Leonard Walker with the Stock Spotlight. And Leonard, you're always welcome to hang out on the show. You let us know if you want to hang out upstage, backstage. But nonetheless, man, you are always welcome, and we appreciate you jumping in here with the Stock Spotlight this week.
Got you. No problem. I'll hang around. I think this is a pretty interesting conversation we got going on.
Absolutely. Next up, folks, we have Heather Weatherspoon, Lady Brazilianaire, up to the stage. Sis, how are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
All right.
Fantastic.
So I've actually got 2 tips for you all, and they actually go hand in hand. So today I'm in a different spot. I'm actually in my kitchen. So which brings me to the 2 tips. Number 1, buy in bulk. And number 2, start cooking at home more. Okay, so how does it tie into it? All right, think about it. If you buy in bulk, which will allow you to cook at home more, what does that do for you? It allows you to save money. Now, over the past few weeks, what have we been talking about? Putting up your money and getting ready for anything that happens in life, right? So the money that you are saving can either go in your retirement account, your savings account, or your emergency fund. Remember, you definitely need that emergency fund. So what do? I now go shopping once a month. Why or how do I do that? Remember, we talked about knowing your numbers. There are 3 people in my house, me and my 2 children. We eat 3 meals a day. So 3 meals a day times 3 people times 7 days a week. Okay? Know your numbers. Buy in bulk, and therefore you can cook at home more and you can save more money. Hope that helps out.
So you should see your home like running a business.
Yeah.
Like I totally agree with you. You should know your numbers in your home. In fact, that's a great way to start your business in your home and trying to get a surplus at the end of the month.
Yes, absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, folks, there you have it. Financing in 5 minutes with Lady Brazilianaire, Heather Weatherspoon. We appreciate you, sis.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Awesome.
Awesome stuff. And if you want to hang around, sis, let us know. Just the same. It's all good. She's usually listening in the backstage there as well. Folks, I tell you what, with today's conversation, it is absolutely awesome. We are talking about the meaning behind the phrase I am. And I'm going to go to commercial. We'll come back. We'll jump deep into this conversation. Folks, it is the Tipping Point Morning Show.
at your table. We building one. We in the process of building a table. We building a table. I don't gotta sit at your table. I'm building my own table, and I will build you a table in the presence of your enemies.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap sticks and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, Southern Indiana, or find yours online at sayababa.com. Again, that's sayababa.com. Habibi Trading Company, where you can find fragrances to incite your senses.
Hey folks, check out healthdaddywow.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, healthdaddywow.net. Remember, healthdaddywow.net.
All right. We are back, folks. Once again, it is the Tipping Point Morning Show with yours truly, Mr. Just Ask Joe, and my brother from another mother, Brother John Yah, Esoteric Concepts. We've got a couple guest hosts with us today. Brother Leonard Walker, you all know, with the Stock Spotlight, and Brother Joseph Tapper Sr. He has been on the show before. I've known him for a number of years now. And with that being said, he is one of my biggest supporters and can also be my biggest critic. With that being said, John, you brought this interesting conversation to the table. What is behind the meaning of the phrase "I am"? And it's interesting because I've heard the phrase in many different places. I grew up talking to pops about this type of stuff, the speaking, the thinking things into existence. You know, I would find myself quite lucky, if you want to say that, or blessed, if you will, because of having that type of mindset in my upbringing. You know, my friends joke with me to this day because they can remember when we would stay together, and I would wake up in the morning and I'd run around the apartment clapping, saying, "It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day." And that was something that my dad used to have me do growing up. And I still get ragged about that to this day. So thank you. And thank you, Pops. But when you talk about what's behind the meaning of the phrase "I am," you know, where are you going with that? What's the conversation there?
Okay, so now this is down the rabbit hole. This is where if you can just comprehend what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna use simple terms to explain this. Okay, so when you talk about "I am," just "I am," how do you identify "I am"? You really can't. So there's something behind it, and there's a substance. I like to call it a substance behind it. The substance behind it is connected to a program, and that program is connected to an ego. Okay, so you got the substance, you got the program, and you got the ego behind the "I am." So let's go in with the "I am." I am is just existence. I think you probably read it in the Bible. I am that I am. That means don't call me nothing else, just that I exist. Okay, so this is a mindset to believe that you just exist, and you are not attached to anything or anybody or any name calling. You just exist. That very aura stands out because why? That's a vibration. So let's go in with "I am," and I'm gonna give you an example how it works after the "I am." So look at the substance. Okay, Joe, so rock with me on this. Okay, so I'm gonna say "I am." You give me a substance. I am
black.
Okay. Now I can take black and I can go look that up. Okay. Oh, you are African American. You came from a descendant of slaves and you were named black by your oppressors. Okay. You eat this kind of food. You behave this kind of way. Okay. Now let's give another one. I am.
Say Christian.
Huh?
Christian.
Okay, then you believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior. You eat a certain way, you act, you go to church on Sundays, you act a certain way. So there's another program, then I know everything about you. I am
a nigga.
Right, there it is. So all you got to do is look at the program, and then you can see what that person is tied into. So that becomes who you are after the I am. See, you can't identify I am. If you was to ask me who I am and I just say I am, it kind of confuse your brain because you're looking for a program that has not been uploaded for me to tell you who I am. If you say, if I am ADOS, oh, I know what that means. I am more. Oh, I know what that means. I am Muslim. Yep, I know what that means. But if you just stick with I am, that vibration is not attached to your ego or any substance, right? Because it just exists. We add programs to it, and then we believe that's who we are inside the program. And so then if you believe that, everything in your circle will validate that belief that you are that particular thing or group or people that you claim to be. But actually thinking beyond that is being able to be still and just accept that you exist. That realm alone is the most powerful mindset you can be at. If you start to step into the program, you have to ask the question, who wrote the program? I'm a Christian. There's a program for you and somebody wrote it. I'm a Moor. There's a program for you and somebody wrote that program. So therefore, you follow the program that was written by somebody that was around probably thousands of years ago, and you're following the program. So this is how you identify. And the program is attached to what? Your ego. Because I am Muslim. Don't that feel good? Yeah, that's your ego. You see? So if I was just to tell you, if you was to ask me, well, who are you? And I say, well, I am. Immediately your brain becomes confused. You can't figure that out because why? Most of your understanding of other people and things is stuck into a program. If you understand this, the way to change your life is to go into the I am, and then you can choose whatever program that fits you. You want a new program? You can choose that program. You want to be wealthy? Then stop saying you broke. You see, if I am broke, you see how it is? That's the program. You are broke. So no matter how wealthy you want to be, if you continue to say, well, I'm broke, I ain't got no money, the program will prove itself right to you that you are broke. And that's the issue. We don't want to get into you don't want to get into the I am something, and then that something is a block and it's stopping you from living your life to the fullest because your ego is tied to that. And if I was to say something about Christianity and you a Christian, I done tapped into your ego. That kind of upsets you, don't it? If you are more and I'm telling you, oh, well, you follow Novo Drew Ali, here's the program, and here's how you supposed to behave, that would tap into your ego, wouldn't it? Because that's only time you have to defend it. Your ego wants to defend that substance behind I am. I am don't give a shit. It don't matter what you think of me. It's not concerned with what you say about the group or any of that. It's just I am. You can't offend the person that's in that realm. You can offend the person that's in the substance. You can't offend the person that's in that realm. So change your concept of who you think you are, and you will change your life.
So is I am is there a God force energy? Is there a power behind just the phrase I am?
Absolutely. So here's the thing. If you was to say I am, you're saying is I exist. Well, what exists around you? An electromagnetic field. Right? Along with the electric magnetic wave into the brain. Once you tap into the I am, you can tap into the source all around you. But as soon as you put a substance on it, you block off the source.
And so the only thing, I mean, because this is a nonchalant phrase that people tend to use often.
Correct.
Or they use it in a very nonchalant manner, yet there's power behind it. So I know in my home, I'm very conscious about that, and we speak to the idea of making sure you understand exactly what you're saying. Be conscious of your words, be intentional of your words, and understand that when you say certain things, there's meaning behind it. There's growth, there's understanding, there's things that come with it. So you can't just say, I'm broke today. You know, you might not have had the am in there, but I apostrophe M is an abbreviation for I am. So
Exactly.
guess what? That has the same power. Now, Pops, you speak to a lot of this from time to time. You've got talks and YouTube's different things that you speak or different platforms that you have where you speak to this very thing. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, John put it out there good. The programs have been made by somebody else. We are compiled of programs that everybody else has made up until this very day, up until right now. All the programs that we have, other people made. And so when you say I am is, I can put after it, not pigeonholed. I am not pigeonholed. I am. God is the I am, which means there's no God in the past. So if you live in the past, you live in a godless area. There's no God in the future. You live in the future. There's no God there. It's a godless place. I am now. I am present tense. So when you say I am something, you're using that program that somebody else made. Now you can choose your own program. For example, if I spell the word P-I-N-K, these programs come in pictures because our mind works in pictures, not in words. So if I say P-I-N-K, P-I-G, a picture comes to your mind. But that's a program. Because if you were brought up thinking P-I-N-K was green, then a different picture would come to your mind. But that picture came to your mind because you were programmed that way from childhood or whatever. So you can create your own program for your own self instead of buying into everybody else's program. It's so funny that there's hundreds of religions and everybody has found the one right religion, the one correct one out of all the hundreds of thousands. I was in a debate with somebody earlier this week, a discussion, and talking about the Bible and being the Word of God. And I'm like, well, which version? There's hundreds of versions. And is God fickle that he has to have so many versions and it has to be revised and all of this? It just doesn't make sense. But programs is what we've been given. So when I say I am, I'm telling myself in the present tense because I'm not in the future and I'm not in the past. I'm right now, and I want to be right now. I want to be whatever I am right now. When I had prostate cancer, I had to speak in the present tense, and people don't understand if they, for example, the church says you may make a mantra, I'm healed from cancer. And the way the mind works, remember I said the mind works in pictures. Those pictures are programs. So if I say cancer, then a picture comes to your mind. That's a program. If I say don't think about cancer, what are you going to do? The words don't think about carry no image, but cancer carries an image. So if I say I'm healed from cancer, you're getting an image of cancer either way. So what I did, I said, every morning I got up and I said, I have a healthy prostate. Present tense. I have to be in the I am. I have a normal size, healthy prostate. And I call it painting my body. Get up in the morning when I meditate, I paint my body. I said, my head feels great. My neck feels great. My neck, my back, my shoulders, everything feels
I heard that
great.
song.
Oh, is that a song? And so I just go down my body, my ankles, my knees, everything. And as I have more birthdays, I get more areas to paint. And I just tell myself what I'm going to be for that day, and that's where I am.
Awesome. Yes.
Awesome stuff. Brother Leonard, just in thinking about this whole I am, is there anything in any time in your life where you were able to, utilize that phrase with power behind it to bring forth or manifest something into your life?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's happening right now. As we speak, and many of you guys know my story. I think when we talk about I am, because that's kind of a conversation we have with ourselves, right? It's introspective, right? So as we speak about I am, the first question we have to ask is, before we can affirm I am, we have to ask, who am I, right? And when you kind of deep dive into that question, who am I? I am who I choose to be. Okay, I am who I choose to be because it is my choice. So therefore, I look at, I am can also be, a forecast where you see yourself in the future. Is I always say to myself, I have these conversations. I am going to be retired one day. I'm retired. I am going to be a homestead farmer. That's what I'm working on right now. Okay, that's what I'm going to be, and it's going to happen because I've realized that the power of the mind, if you really want something and you desire it, all right, you'll start working on it. Okay, you'll start making these things manifest in your life. Now that also works with negative things as well. I am sick. I am, I can't do, or like I said, it's I am, and then
I am
can't.
unable.
I am unable. Then and I was looking at something the other day, a program, and I thought it was beautiful. Is one of the teachers or directors of the program said, with our children, what we're trying to do is eliminate so many I can't. Okay, especially with children, I can't, because no, not that you can't, you can, and you are, and I am. I am is, like I said, I am is a conversation we have with ourselves. So I am somebody who is an investor. Okay, I am someone. I am a father. I am a husband. I am a good man.
So I am can carry just a host of different things behind it, but the substance, as Brother John Yah says, is you're giving that substance power.
Right. You give
with
that substance power. Yep.
the I am.
I am. And another thing is, I am that which makes me happiest. Okay. Because that is the ultimate pursuit. I mean, happiness, just like I said, is to me, and I guess, the programming. I think a lot of times we're born with the programming. Sometimes I believe in epigenealogy, which is the actual experiences of our ancestors locked within our DNA. I don't know why, before, I don't know why I like to grow things. Well, guess what? It's my ancestors grew things, okay? And it's already within me. I don't know why I like to build things. Well, my ancestors built things. And so it's already in me. And the joy and happiness that they may have felt in doing that is already in me. Therefore, I am a better version of my ancestors doing the things that made them happy, which also makes me happy. Okay. So yes, it's a beautiful thing,
Absolutely.
So
Joe,
go ahead.
One thing that people have to realize is the power that they're putting in their words. And as John was talking about the programs, think about this. I was telling my wife about this, and it took some time to convince her because she kept getting colds and just repeatedly. But every day she would come home from work and say, I'm sick of these nurses. They're not training them like they used to. And I'm so sick of having to do this. And I said, baby, listen to what you're saying. Remember, I told you that certain words create images. And when you say, I'm sick of you, you doesn't create an image, but sick does. And it's either positive or negative. It doesn't matter. There's no positive or negative to the mind. There only is. It only is. I am. And so all it creates is a picture of sick. And whatever image or program is there, it's going to reproduce and multiply because you're putting energy into it. I am sick. So you're putting energy into sick. And where attention goes, energy flows, you multiply, you create it. I am wealthy. And that's what happens when people have a bountiful mindset. They are wealthy. I am wealthy. They create abundance. That's why giving is so powerful. It's written that give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So other people give to you, but they never explained why. Here's the reason: is that mindset. If I give, then my mind thinks I have abundance because I wouldn't give if I didn't have to give. So if I give something that I want and I give it to somebody else, I'm telling myself I have abundance. So I've created an image of abundance. What is my mind going to do? It's going to reproduce and multiply whatever image that's held and energy is put into. So I'm creating abundance more and more. That's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's a mindset. That's not finances. That's a mindset. The rich in spirit, the rich in mind, they get richer because the mind continues to create that wealth. The poor get poorer. If someone is stingy, they hold on to what they have. What does that do? That creates an image of poverty, of lack. It's telling the mind, we don't have enough. We have lack. That's why we're holding on to this, because we have lack. So there's a picture of lack, an image of what's your mind going to do? It looks at that and it creates more and multiplies whatever image that you're holding strong in your mind that you're putting energy behind. So it's good to understand what you put behind I am. I'm sick of this job. I'm sick of this car. Sick is all the mind is hearing, and you're going to be sick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. John, when we talk programming and we talk about where this programming comes from, you know, you've spoken a lot about Theta Wave and those first 7 years. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, Theta Wave is a form of hypnosis, and hypnosis is launched into your subconscious mind. So when a child is born, even when it's in the third trimester, it is starting to download information. First, it downloads the mother's voice. It starts to read and listen to the mother's voice, and it can tell the voice from the outside the womb, and it knows the voice of the vibration inside the mother. Then it next downloads the emotion, the feelings behind the voice. So in other words, if the mother is called a B word by the husband or boyfriend or somebody that she loved, she immediately would begin to feel anger, sad, depressed, or upset. Well, if the child hears the word inside the womb, it doesn't know what the word B means, but it's now connected to every time it hears it, this feeling comes with it. So the child can be born into this world and it hears that B word and it doesn't know why it feels uncomfortable because it was already programmed as a child. So up until 7 years old, the child's mindset is in only Theta Wave to be downloaded. It don't have time to figure anything out or think. It's trying to download everything. Who's who, what's what, don't touch this, you can touch that. And so immediately, because the brain is trying to cipher what it needs to cipher to survive in this dimension. So just like a deer, as soon as a baby deer is being born, why do you think the deer automatically gets up and start running? Because while it was in the womb, the mama was running. The mama was running, right? And so when the child, when the deer baby comes into the world, it immediately gets up and ready to do what? Run. And it's got minutes to get off its feet and start running. But where did it learn how to run from? Where it was already. It don't even know what it's running from. It don't even know. It's just ready to run. So it's the same thing with children. And we don't pay attention to the music we're listening to. We don't pay attention to the vibrations that we're listening to and the television that we're playing around these children. We won't cut that off. So therefore, you're allowing that to program your child, because here's the thing. There are 5 different dimensions in this consciousness. The first 2 is Theta Wave, which is the form of downloading the information, right? The third one is belief. That's when you believe everything you was told and everything you seen, right? You don't question it because it's been validated when you look around you. That's how it works. Whatever you have been uploaded and you believe, it will validate it to you. So therefore, you will deepen your belief in it. And though it's not a reality or it's not a fact, but you will deepen your belief in it because you started with that download. Then there's the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is when you realize all of it was a lie. Now you got to go back into the subconscious mind to undo all of that. And that can make you angry, make you upset, make you bitter. And then there's the fifth dimension where you realize all this is an illusion and I can control it as I wish. I can download a new program to behave differently. Oh, I can download a bad program if I want to and behave badly. So you have to look at the program. If you are having issues, what is the program? Where'd you get it from? Address yourself, not outward. All problems lie within, not out. If you having a problem with your ex, you having a problem with females, or you having a problem with men, guess what? That's enter. But we are so busy doing the finger pointing because we believe they the ones did this to me. They did that to me. And we don't address how did I attract it from the subconscious mind. That's what brought that into my space. So that's what I'm talking about. Even when we're talking about I am, if you just stop and just recognize your existence, just you exist, you know, at that space, there's no worry, there's no hunger, there's no fear of anything. There's no fear of losing shelter, anything. Where are you right now? Just think about this for a second. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Where are you right now? Are you hungry? Do you feel ill? Do you right now, do you have a roof over your head? How your state of mind right now? Not what you think tomorrow's going to be. Not what you think yesterday was. See, a lot of people download information from yesterday and they apply it to themselves and say, that's who I am. That disrupts your future because you're stuck right there. So ask the question, how are you right now? Are you ill? Are you hungry? Are you safe? You see? And that if you can stay there, you can now predict your future better because now you can upload new information that will help you bring that existence into your space for tomorrow. So if you're thinking about what you thought about yesterday, then your today is yesterday. And check this out. If you think about what you're doing today, that's what your tomorrow is going to be. So whatever you're doing today, that's going to prove up into your tomorrow. That's how it works. So you always should be willing to challenge your beliefs. Never believe everything you think. I say, I tell everyone that don't believe everything you think. Just because you think it doesn't mean it is a fact. And you can change the belief easily, but you have to challenge yourself first. And some people don't want to go there because they stay stuck in belief of something that they feel they believe that so much so that it's validated. So no one, if you believe something, guess what? You're right. You're right. And it's going to validate that you are right because it's going to show you everything you believe in. So by pulling back and begin to recognize self that's unconnected to the ego and all the programs. See, when I ask you how you doing now, it's not connected to a program. It's not. Right. But if I start to ask you how your tomorrow or what you're going to do, see, that's different. But right now you're fine. So this is the only space you can find existence. This is the only space you can find life. And guess what? It flashes as a moment. Now that moment's gone. You can't get that moment back. Right. It flashes. This is the only space you can find life. You can't find life when you was on the beach last week. No, that's not life. That's dead now. You can't find life for what you think is going to be. I'm going to be on the beach tomorrow. No, that's not life. Life is right now. And if you miss the realm of happiness for now, you will never get that back.
Man, that's powerful stuff. And it's right in alignment even with what Senior said in talking about, the past versus the present, God being in the present and being able to speak to right now. Pops, it looks like you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, man, that was some good stuff, John. Something happened to me 6 years ago, and it's Joe's mother passed away. We were married 38 years. I was devastated, and it changed my life. That's when I became really aware of all the programming and how ineffective it is to live by those programs. We had people praying all across the country, and she still passed away. And I'm like, from what I knew about God, he could have just moved his pinky and she could have been healed and spared. But I came to realize that, you know what? Why would I want to manipulate God? And why do I want him to do anything differently than he's already doing? So what I started doing, I used to teach goals. I used to, how to say there's 5 steps, 7 steps, 10 steps, all these steps to setting goals for what you want. And I've seen people do it, and I've done it, and you've reached your goal. But then I see the people, they're unhappy. And at that point, 6 years ago, I had one goal. I wanted to be happy. Didn't want to be a millionaire. I didn't want a bunch of houses. I didn't want any materialistic thing. I just wanted to be happy. And so I made a goal out of being happy. Boy, did I stumble upon something. And let me read this. This is from a poet called Jalal al-Din Rumi. John probably heard of him. But he said, when I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety. And that's what happens when you set goals for materialistic things. You're pushing yourself. You're frustrated. You didn't reach it this day. Okay, you're frustrated. You're pushing yourself. And so he said, when I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me, and without any pain. From this, I understand that what I want also wants me, is looking for me and attracting me. There's a great secret in this for anyone who can grasp it. That's by the poet Rumi. That was life-changing to me. And so I set a goal just to be happy, not for any materialistic thing, just to be happy. Now I'm challenged. Every morning I'm faced with a challenge, whether I want to drive the Porsche, the Benz, the BMW 3 Series, or my little red Z4 BMW hardtop convertible. I didn't have a goal for any of that. I just had a goal to be happy. I wanted to be happy. And again, I saw people that set goals for things and they reached those goals and they were unhappy. I've seen people become millionaires. They're on Prozac. Their kids are committing suicide. So when you create a goal to be happy, I am happy, let everything else take its place, because I believe that when a person questions, there's an ancient Arabic proverb that says when a person asks themselves and starts to seek after their purpose in life, that the universe will conspire with them to bring it to pass, because the universe has a goal for us. And if we just desire, it's written in Psalms 37:4, it says, if you delight yourself in the Lord. Now I put it this way, if you consume yourself with love, because God is love, love, love. When you consume yourself with love, love for you, love for other people, there's a desire placed in your heart that is where you're going to blossom and where you're going to bloom. And that should be your focus. Now, you can do whatever you want. We, as humans, we can create whatever we want. We can go wherever we want. Do it. Look, Hitler had a goal and he was on his way to completing it. But if you want to be happy, listen to what the universe is placing in your heart. Just wrap yourself in love, love other people, love yourself first, and love other people, and let that way be paved for you.
Absolutely awesome stuff. John, you brought up, you posted one of your videos
Yeah.
from your esoteric podcast show. Is there any specific part of it that you want me to play right now?
No, actually, I just wanted to mention that I placed that in there just so you can see a little 5-minute lecture, because actually the mindset is most people's have a very short attention span. So I did a 5 level of what is called the 5 levels of consciousness, so you can understand what I'm talking about when I say consciousness. And because it talks about peptide neurotransmitters, and peptide neurotransmitters are cells that are located in your body. So let me give you an example how this works real quick. And if you want to go look at the video, pull it up and check it out. So a peptide neurotransmitter, let me give you an example this way. So you have over 100 trillion cells in your body. You lose 1 billion cells probably about a minute, and then you gain 1 billion or more cells every minute. Even in breathing in oxygen, you gain 1 billion cells. Breathing out oxygen, you lose 1 billion cells. Skin flaking off, defecating, blowing your nose, urinating, cells are going out. And so what are peptides? Peptides are cells that come into your body, and they become what is called membranes. Membranes are launched into your body. So if I have a depression thought for 20 minutes, them new cells that just came into my body became depression cells. Okay. And so now those cells don't know nothing but what I've been thinking for the last 20 minutes. So those cells, when you're back to another realm of thinking, like being happy, jubilant, great, or mad, those depression cells, they don't go anywhere. They become dormant and laying you low, right? And if you continue to be depressed over and over again, those depression cells that was dormant will wake up, because while you're thinking more depression things. So listen to this, and this is the function of the body, and this is how you know you are no different than a computer. If you have an abundant of depression cells, I don't care if it's cells of a bad marriage, a bad relationship, hitting the eye by your boyfriend, or whatever the case may be, those cells will become so lonely that they will group together and send a signal to the subconscious mind to reproduce a scenario again, to get you upset, to get you mad, or whatever it is, to create the scenario. This is why people love to go to violent movies. People love to listen to violent songs. People go listen to and watch scary movies, because there is something in them that's already there that's being awakened. So we have that desire. We don't even know where the desire comes from. We're trying to figure out why I got that desire, because your subconscious mind has all the information that has been holding since you was in the 3rd trimester. And so you're actually a walking robot unchecked. And the way to stay checked is stay in this moment, stay in the I am. If you have a feeling, and this practice is, if you have a feeling about something, ask yourself, is that feeling serving me? Think about it. See, when you are upset, let's say you think of something. Let's say I think of a fight. I done had many fights in my past, and coming up in the dojo and wherever I was coming up. If I start thinking of a fight that I had in the past, you know what will happen? My heart will start beating, because it sends an adrenaline from the thought down to my heart. Now all that chemical from here goes into my heart. Now it goes to all the areas of my body. Now my body thinks I'm getting ready to fight, and there ain't no fight in front of me. So your heart's starting to beat. Now you got that energy, you ready to get into a fight. Ain't no fight. But check this out. If you stay in that conscious realm, always walk around thinking of a fight, somebody's going to pop you in the mouth, or you're going to pop somebody else's mouth, because why? You're vibrating that energy to you. So you got to pay attention to your thoughts, and always ask yourself, how is that thought serving me? If that thought isn't serving you, dump it. If that thought isn't giving you validation in life that where you want to achieve, dump the thought. Because if you stay in that thought, I'm mad at him, I don't like that, that thought sinks even more into you, and you are making them upset cells say happy, yeah, kick his ass, girl, I don't like him. And that's what happens. And then you celebrate it, and guess what? That vibration picks up the other people's vibration who hear you say that shit and say, yeah, girl, get him, girl. And see, because why you done send that toxicity in someone else's ear.
Powerful.
Hey, Joe, let me tell you how easy it is to control that, and what John was saying about those thoughts. And it's because the mind doesn't know the difference between what we call reality and fake. If it exists in the mind, it's real. And like you said, you're ready to go to a fight because your mind actually thought that, this thing is real. They hooked up athletes to the meters and wires, and they had them visualize doing their sports, and they hooked them up and they had them actually doing their sports, and they found out the reading was the same. So if they were actually doing it or just visualizing, the mind thought it was the same. The mind knows no difference between the two. So if you look at a dog, you can tell if a dog is happy. Why? He's wagging his tail, right? You can tell if he's afraid because his tail is tucked underneath his body. So it's the same with us. Our physiology is a reflection of our attitude. And if you think about how you act when you're happy, and there's times that you're feeling sad, you can change that like that. For example, if you're happy and you whistle or you hum or skip, whatever you do physiologically when you're happy, if you're sad, do what you do when you're happy and you'll find it changes. Here's a good example that I use in my seminars. If you put your hands in your lap and just bow your head and say, "Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I'm so sad." You'll notice a feeling in your body. There's a somber feeling in your body. But do the opposite. Take your fist and pound the air and say, "I'm excited. I'm excited." I can feel an energy shift. And it's just that quick that I felt an energy shift just by the way I acted, the way I carried my body from what I did. So if you're feeling down and you want to change that, just think of how you act when you're happy and do that. I'll start whistling or humming. You can hardly be depressed humming unless you're humming.
Yeah.
I told people all the time, you can't whistle or hum a song and be mad at the same time. It's virtually impossible unless, like you said, you're humming something negative. But you can't do it. It's impossible.
That's what we do when we're happy. So act happy. You heard the saying, walk like a duck, quack like a duck. You are a duck. Just go through the motions, fake it until you make it. And it works because your mind don't know the difference.
Absolutely. Powerful stuff. I tell you what, when you think about all of this, John, you and I, we talk about this stuff all the time in different ways. And one of the biggest things that we talk about is some of these affirmation videos and things of that nature. It's so easy for a person. I always talk about it myself. I say, find your go-to. Whatever your go-to is, if it's a song, if it's a video, if it's something, a song that you need to hum or whistle, find your go-to so that when you are angry, when you are not feeling yourself, when you're feeling a bit depressed, you can go to that go-to and it will pick you up. And
Joe,
one of the things,
I'm sorry, real quick. Here's a good example of that. You remember that Pepsi commercial where Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire?
Yep.
They just showed Michael Jackson dancing to that song, and then they brought in a picture of Pepsi. Because that song and that image made you feel so good, then they associated it with their logo, with their picture of Pepsi, and they make you feel good about Pepsi.
Marketing and advertising. Sometimes you got to market and advertise to yourself, folks. That is exactly what that means. One of the things we were planning in the beginning, but I am rich affirmations or I am successful affirmations. These things are absolutely important. If you're a person, like you said, most people understand most things visually. You take in information visually. Your mind is visual. If you can be able to add things like that to your daily regimen or routine. I mean, before coming on the show, my daily is always some type of I am affirmation, something playing in the background. Before the show, when I wake up in the morning, anything, because I need to set the precedence for my day. I need to, I'm out here trying to conquer some things. I'm trying to overcome some things. I'm trying to, during the day working, I'm trying to reach out, grab some money, and put it in my bank account. So in setting that precedence, playing an affirmation like that in the beginning, when I first wake up, when your mind is fertile, I think they say within the first 20 minutes of you waking up, your mind is fertile. And that's when like ideas come and all that stuff. So that's within that 20 minutes, I'm playing it, whether I'm sitting on the toilet or whatever, it don't matter. I'm playing it in the background and getting my day ready to move forward.
Here's a piece that I think when people listen to affirmations or think about the word manifestation, it's a very cliche word nowadays. So there's a piece here that was never addressed. So it's almost like putting a Band-Aid over a wound. And a lot of times the wound will reveal itself because it's the most powerful. It has the most powerful form. It's in the subconscious mind, right? So first, if you're saying that, if you're going to say, I am rich or I am wealthy, first understand what that means. First, wealth should not be connected to things. And it doesn't mean you want to attract those things, but don't connect it to that. But you have to first address something that is what I like to call the shadow mind. If you're listening to something saying I am wealthy, then you first have to address that I am broke. You have to change that mindset first before you upload new information. See, so we came up in a life where there's a lot of failures, trauma, triumphs, humiliation. There's a man who has maybe a feeling of the way he looks. He don't look good, or he don't think he looks good. So he doesn't think he can be a good salesperson because he can listen to all the good sales stuff, but there's something else he didn't address. He didn't address how he feels he look. And if that right there alone feel as though I'm not accomplished, no matter how rich you listen to, you need to change I'm not accomplished and realize that if you exist into the now, like we're discussing, that is success. Because here's the way of looking at your success. There's 1 billion cells in one cell sperm, all of them fighting to get in, and you made it. All of them cells, all of them sperm cells, you got one ejaculation that has millions of sperm, but only one gonna make it in the egg. Only one. What do the other ones do? They're gonna die off. And each of those have different characteristics. So in science says that the egg sends out a certain smell to attract one out of those millions of cells. And them said that one sperm has got to fight and go through some stuff to get to it. Now that means that's you, because you exist. So now you get here and you complain. Now you get here because of these other programs saying you a failure, you ain't no good, you can't do this, you can't achieve. And if you begin to digest that information into the subconscious mind, no matter how many I ams you listen to, you still never address the I can't. Why you can't? Because you didn't address how you grew up. You didn't address the things that you heard when you was little, like a teacher saying, you just a failure. You're not going to be nothing but good with your hands. You didn't address it. It's there, but you have to do shadow work because you can't put a Band-Aid over the wound because the wound is still there. You got to first heal the wound, like we was talking about earlier about the woman who says, I'm a narcissist slayer. No, you a manslayer, and that's toxic. And that's why everywhere you go, you're going to see narcissists, because that becomes your lens. You got to heal first. Regardless of what you have been through and the relationships you have been through, you got to heal that first, because you're just putting a Band-Aid over it. And now that wound is going to open again. And there you go with the finger pointing. Boom, boom, boom. You did it. You did it. You did it. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has all been good stuff.
So
go ahead, Pops.
A good way to find out, what John was talking about was your limiting beliefs that are hidden in your psyche. And a good way to bring that out is just ask yourself, what is stopping me from being who I want to be, whatever it is that you have chosen? Just ask yourself that. And I ask people that, and they say, well, I don't have the education. Oh, so you think because you're not smart enough, you don't have a piece of paper, you can't do it? Most of your billionaires today didn't even go to college.
Facts.
And so when you start looking at that, then you can dispel those limiting beliefs,
right?
Watch them crumble. And like John said, you got to deal with that first.
Oh, I heard the music. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You have to address that first. Why do you think you are failing? And what is it? Because I don't have a degree. I don't have this. Those things block you. Absolutely right.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead, Leonard.
In a world where if you're a hammer, everything in the world looks like a nail. And everything will get treated like a nail.
Nailed it.
So until you stop being a hammer, all right, then you won't notice the other things about the world. So and I think that goes back to, like I said, it's the limitations. Until you deal with your limitations, all right, that's like with me, okay? One day, like I say, I'm on the journey, I'm on that path, right? Because it's what I desire. It's already in me, all right, to have a farm where I grow my own food and become self-sufficient. But I know right now, okay, I am not physically ready to do that right now. Therefore, what's my task? My task is to get myself prepared for the day that I can say I am a farmer. I am a chicken herder or a goat herder or or the things that are going to make me happy. All right. And that, a lot of times we don't do it because it's painful. That journey is painful. I mean,
very painful.
You gotta the first part of the pain, the physical pain you could probably deal with, but it's the psychological pain.
Correct.
Right? It's psychological pain. It's coming to the point of saying, why can't I do this? Why can't I, what does it require? Okay, what is it gonna take from myself to be able to do? Well, that means you got to get yourself up early in the morning, because that's what you're gonna, prepare yourself. Well, I can't, it's too early. No, then guess what? You're not gonna ever achieve the things you want to achieve. What are you willing to sacrifice to make your happiness and make your dreams come to fruition? Right? What are you willing to give up? All right, because if this is the thing that makes you happy, that means you're gonna have to give some stuff up and some people up too. so yeah. I mean, this is all really, really good, great stuff, man. I mean, you have to. It's changing your mindset. It's hitting the reset button on your brain, right? And saying, hey, why don't I deserve happiness? Why can't I be the happy person that I want to be? Or why can't I live a life where, I'm not dealing with strife or worries or these types of things? Well, start answering those questions, start looking at yourself honestly and truthfully and tell the truth about it. It's hard to lie to yourself. You can look in the mirror and lie to yourself, but then guess what? You're not lying.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. So look at this. I want to real quick touch on this because I got to get ready to roll out. A health daddy Wild said a doctor can tell someone they will be dead in 6 months. If they truly believe that, they probably will. Here's why. Because there's this thing called placebo, and this is interesting how placebo works. And it deals with the mind. If a doctor, and they do have placebo pills they give you, look it up if you don't believe this. A doctor can give you a pill because he may not, they practice first. They're just practicing on you. And so they may say, hey, try this pill. It's just a sugar pill. It'll work. I gave it to my other clients. Your chronic pain will go away. And they do actually placebo tests before they actually put the medicine out there on the market. So the doctor tells you this pill will work. Your anxiety, whatever, will go away. And you take the pill, but it's a sugar pill. So now when you walked out of that office, that means you have to believe that this pill is going to work. And so you start taking that pill and it actually worked, but it's just a sugar pill. When you come back to the doctor and say, doctor, that worked, doctor's really saying to himself, damn, that shit's all in your head because I just gave you a sugar pill. It means that what you have done, you got to realize this. What you have done, you have hypnotize yourself. So all it is self-hypnosis. So what I'm telling you is, how do you work on dehypnotizing yourself? By the things that are blocking you. So understand that difference. Belief is a form of where you are in your life. If you believe you are well, that's hypnosis. You have to believe it. It will happen. So if you understand how science works with placebo, but it's funny how they don't tell you that is in your mind. They just give you the pill, right? Keep you confused. But actually, there is a real study on placebo of giving people pills that are just sugar pills, and they have healed chronic pain, aches. Now, not surgery. Maybe somebody needs surgery from a trauma, but it is possible to send a vibration of belief, and your body will act accordingly, and everything around you will act accordingly, that you are healed or you are not in pain anymore. Just go look up placebo and study it. In fact, it's called placebo effect, but when the first doctor came into it, I believe it was the 1700s, when he gave a patient the wrong pill, and the person came in and said it worked, but he said, damn, I gave you the wrong medication. So that's when the study happened. That was called the placebo effect back then. Now they called it. But I heard also pharmaceutical companies are trying to take that off the market, so because people will become awakened. So, but real quick, let me close by saying, understand the programs. That those belief systems of yourself are only programs. They're not real. They're not real. So no matter what program you uploaded, it is not real. It's just something that makes you comfortable in believing in yourself. And that's all it is. And so understanding it becomes attached to your ego self. And your ego self is all about the material world and proving you as you walk down the street of who you are to others. That's ego, right? Removing the ego is just going inside and saying, I exist. I ain't attached to that. I ain't attached to the car. I'm not attached to my house. I ain't attached to the Moors. I ain't attached to Muslims. I ain't attached to Christians. I just exist. If you can go there for a while and realize all these things are programmed, you will look at things differently. And check this out. You will start walking different.
Absolutely. I tell you, this stuff is powerful when we have these conversations, and it's important to have these conversations. We do a lot of business stuff on the show, but it's important to have these conversations because even as we showcase different business ideals and things, it's important for people to understand the mindset behind it, the mindset that many of the business professionals that we bring on even have, the mindset that helps to create the different things that people are out here doing, the different amazing feats that they achieve and all that good stuff. So it's important to talk about that mindset. And that's what we wanted to do here today, folks. So once again, it's yet again, same place, same time next week. Pops, you want to tell anybody where they can look you up at?
Well, just Google Joseph Tapper and you'll find either me or Jake Tapper, but you'll find me.
From CNN?
Yeah, exactly. One quick dovetail on what John said was so powerful. Ego. And that's what happened to me when my ego, was shot and destroyed. All I wanted to do is be happy. My goal is to be happy. And you think about it. People say, I want $1 million. Why? They think $1 million is going to make them happy. I want a new car. Why? They think a new car is going to make them happy. So happiness is the goal of everything in life. So I just made my goal to be happy and everything else flows. Yep. Go straight to the source.
You made your goal to be happy. Everything else flows. And all the material stuff that you weren't looking for came to you. It's there now. And now when I go visit, I have a decision to make. Which car I'd like.
Or which Uber to call, whether to call Lyft or Uber. Hey, the other day I got a low tire pressure light on my car, on the sports car. And so I turned around, went back to the house, and instead of getting a spare tire, I got a spare car.
Hey, all because you focused on being happy. That's how it works, folks. All right, you heard it right here. And remember, don't forget, what Leonard Walker said. Most of y'all guys out there are just hammers, and that's why you running around here and
Looking for nails.
looking for nails and trying to nail stuff and being irresponsible because you're just a hammer. You're just perpetuating your own ill thoughts of yourself. So you need to focus on not being a hammer and look at all the tools in the toolbox. So with that being said, I tried to throw that in there. It didn't work too well. Time being one of our biggest assets, folks. So with that, make sure that you take time to focus on the time that you have. All right. Peace. Next week, same place, same time. It is the Tipping Point Show, and we are out.
Peace, everyone.
Peace. Listen to some of the sultry sounds of Joseph Tapper as we roll on out.